Saka punta to the moon. Road trip, brum brum.
Good day mga ka-Tripkada! I'm Ashley Kalipay and I hope that you are all doing fine wherever you are right now. And as for today, together with my fellow groupmates here, we will be discussing the intellectual attribute of personality and the emotional attributes of personality. So without further ado, let us all fasten our seatbelts. And our first stop, let's have the intellectual attribute of personality. But first, let me tell you what is it. So, intellectual personality is feelings, behavior, beliefs, attitudes, and ways of reasoning and evaluation, and a decision-making that people utilize when they face a cultural phenomenon, social, political, religious, historical, economic, and then accept or reject it. So, this intellectual personality is resulted in multiple factors, which influence the character of the internal and external of an individual. Therefore, the human intellectual interpretation is a mental process, a figure that is based on the information and processing and decision-making of events evaluation. Next up, let's have the three distinctive memory capabilities of humans.
Three distinct memory capabilities of humans: the sensory memory, the short-term memory, and the long-term memory. So first, I'm going to explain what the sensory memory all about. Sensory memory is a very brief memory that allows people to retain impressions of sensory information after the original stimulus has ceased. It is often thought as the first stage of the memory that involves registering a tremendous amount of information about the environment, but only for a very brief period. The purpose of sensory memory is to retain information long enough for it to be recognized. So, how does sensory memory work? During every moment of your existence, your senses are constantly taking in an enormous amount of information about what you see, feel, smell, hear, and taste. While this information is important, there is simply no way to remember each and every detail about what you experience at every moment. Instead, your sensory memory creates something of a quick snapshot of the world around you, allowing you to briefly focus your attention on relevant details. Experts also believe that different senses have different types of sensory memory. The different types of sensory memory have also been shown to have slightly different durations. The first one is the iconic memory. It is also known as the visual sensory memory. Iconic memory involves a very brief image. This type of sensory memory typically lasts for about 1/4 to 1/2 of a second. Second is the echoic memory. It is also known as auditory sensory memory. Echoic memory involves a very brief memory of sound like an echo. This type of sensory memory can last for up to 3 to 4 seconds. Haptic memory. It is also known as the tactile sensory memory. Haptic involves the very brief memory of a touch. This type of sensory memory lasts for approximately 2 seconds. And that is the last type of sensory memory. Here's a word from Verywell. Sensory memory plays a vital role in your ability to take in information and interact with the world around you. This type of memory allows you to retain brief impressions of a vast amount of information. In some instances, this information may be transferred to short-term memory, but in the majority of cases, this information is quickly lost. While sensory memory may be very brief, it plays a critical role in the attention and memory processes. So the next topic that I'm going to discuss is about the short-term memory. So, short-term memory or STM is the second stage of the multi-store memory model. Short-term memory refers to information that people can remember for a short period of time immediately after receiving it. Short-term memory has 3 key aspects. Number 1 is the limited capacity that only about 7 items can be stored at a time. Second is the limited duration, that the storage is very fragile and information can be lost with destruction or passage of time. And lastly is the encoding. It is primarily acoustic, even translating visual information into sounds. So, sporadically, forgetting pieces of new information happens to almost everyone. It is especially easy to forget new information if someone is not completely paying attention, is distracted, or does not make any effort to remember the information. I think we all are aware or we all know the so-called short-term memory loss, and here are some common signs of it. First is asking someone their name, the same question, or for the same information repeatedly. Next is being confused about what they are doing, who they are with, and what time or day it is. Next one is having trouble remembering or understanding information they have just received, such as directions or steps in a recipe. The next one is forgetting recent experiences or events, and also forgetting where they put things, and lastly forgetting something they recently heard or saw on the television. Some of the more common conditions or causes associated with short-term memory loss include aging, health injury, stroke and cardiac arrest, medication, and also sleep deprivation. There are also some psychological conditions can cause short-term memory loss. For example, depression, substance abuse, severe stress, and lastly, post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. Here's a word from Verywell. Short-term memory plays a vital role in shaping our ability to function in the world around us, but it is limited in terms of both capacity and duration. Disease and injury as well as increasing reliance on smartphones can also have influence on the ability to store short-term memories. As researchers continue to learn more about factors that influence memory, new ways of enhancing and protecting short-term memory may emerge. So, the next topic or the last topic that I am going to discuss will be the long-term memory. So, what is long-term memory? Long-term memory refers to the storage of information over an extended period. This type of memory tends to be stable and can last a long time, often for years. Long-term memory can be further subdivided into two different types, the explicit or conscious and implicit or unconscious memory. If you can remember something that happened more than just a few moments ago, whether it is occurred just hours ago or decades earlier, then it is long-term memory. Long-term memory is usually divided into two types, the explicit and implicit. Explicit memories is also known as declarative memory. It includes all of the memories that are available in consciousness. Explicit memory can be further divided into an episodic memory, or it is a specific event, and semantic memory, or the knowledge about the world. The next one is the implicit memory. Implicit memories are those that are mostly unconscious. This type of memory includes procedural memory, which involves memories of body movement and how to use objects in the environment. How to drive a car or use a computer are examples of procedural memories. The duration of long-term memory. Through the process of association and rehearsal, the content of short-term memory can become long-term memory. Long-term memories can last for a matter of days to as long as many decades. There are numbers of factors that can influence how long information endures in long-term memory. First, the way the memory was encoded in the first place can play a significant role. If you were very aware and alert when you had experience, then the memory will probably be a lot more vivid. The number of times you access a memory can also play a role in the strength and duration of a memory. Not surprisingly, memories that you recall often tend to stick around and become much stronger. But we should all know that not all long-term memories are created equal. While some memories spring to mind quickly, others are weaker and might require prompts or reminders to bring them into focus. Here's a word from Verywell. Long-term memory plays a vital role in daily life, allowing you to build a foundation of information that allows you to live your life. While it is easy to think of memories or something similar to files on a computer, research has shown that long-term memory is both enduring yet susceptible to error. That's all, and thank you.
Next up, the 3 dimensions of intelligence.
Analytical intelligence. The ability to solve a problem by looking at its components. With the word analytical, it's meant to analyze things. Analytical intelligence may you look like a genius, but you focus on the smaller things that isn't highlighted on the problem. Others that components can be stitched together, making it the better results on the given problem. Creative intelligence. The ability to use new ingenious ways to solve problems. It is a type of intelligence where you find another way or another approach to another. It is a working creatively on a given problem and having fun and working on it. Practical intelligence. First to street, smart or common sense. It is the most simplest way of thinking, or you can say that it can be any form. But the real context is that the problem must be executed in your own personal approach, or where you think it is the easiest.
Good day, my name is Sofia Andre Gutierrez, Group 1. I-discuss ko po is internal and external function affecting how we think and feel and behave. Focus, relax, and stress. Type of stress. This stress is an unpleasant stress that accompanies negative event. Eustress is the pleasurable stress that accompanies positive event. Internal factors po is nakaka-apekto on how we think, feel, and behave po. May mga bagay tulad ng mga pangarap po natin sa buhay, may mga gusto at tayo po tayo. Halimbawa po ng factors na gusto ko magkaroon ng magandang trabaho in the near future. So, bilang response ko po, iisipin ko kung ano ba ang dapat kong gawin, kung kailangan ko po ba magsipag. And I feel like motivated po kasi yun po yung gusto kong makamit. Since also external factors po is nakaka-apekto on how we think, feel, and behave po. May mga bagay tulad po ng mga pangarap po natin sa buhay, yung mga gusto at ayaw po natin. Halimbawa po, bilang factors po is gusto ko po magkaroon ng magandang trabaho in the near future. So, bilang response ko po is kung ano nga po ba ang dapat kong gawin. Kung kailangan ko nga po ba magsipag. And I feel like motivated po kasi yun po talaga yung gusto kong makamit. And also, since gusto ko nga po yung mga bagay na yun matupad, yung iniisip ko po is magsipag as a response po, yun po yung gagawin ko. Kung baga po, sa madaling salita, ang internal factors po is yung mga factors na nanggagaling mismo sa sarili natin at kung paano po tayo mag-isip. Internal factors naman po is mga bagay tulad po ng friends, family, culture, and tradition po. So dito po, ang pinakamadali pong halimbawa po is gusto po ng kaibigan ko na mag-HM. So, bilang isang kaibigan po, and effect na din po ng peer pressure po is gusto ko na din pong mag-HM. In terms naman po sa culture and tradition po, tayo pong mga Pilipino, bilang paggalang po sa mga nakakatanda is nagmamano po tayo or nagpopo at opo po tayo. Since simula po bata pa po tayo, namulat na po tayo sa ganitong kultura, hanggang ngayon po, dala-dala pa rin po natin ang ganitong paraan sa paggalang po. So, sa madaling salita po, ang external factors po is yung na-influensyahan po tayo ng mga taong nasa paligid po natin. Type of stress naman po is first po yung distress po. Ang example po nito ay yung mga negative stressor po tulad po ng bankruptcy, losing job, and hospitalization po. Distress po can cause anxiety, generate unpleasant feeling po, and can contribute to mental and physical problem po ng isang tao. Pwede din po itong maging short-term and long-term po. So, sa madaling salita po, This stress po is kind of stress that can negatively affect a person po. Second po is eustress. Example po ng mga bagay na pwede pong mag-trigger nito ay traveling that is stressful but fulfilling po. Major life change that a person desire like moving house, new work, and marriage po. Eustress po can provide motivation, increase the performance of a person, increase self-efficacy, and it is a short term po. Sa madaling salita po, ang eustress po is a kind of stress that has a positive effect to a person po.
Let us know first, why do we need effective study skills? Good study skills can increase our confidence, competence, and self-esteem. It can also reduce anxiety about tests and deadlines. By developing effective study skills, we may be able to cut down on the numbers of hours spent studying, leaving more time for other things in our life. So the first guidelines that we need to use is the value of schedule. It is very important to value a schedule because it saves time by helping us to keep from wasting time. It allows us to give enough time to do our work. For example, more time for hard work tasks and less time for easy tasks. It makes every hour count. It helps us to settle down to work and more quickly. Second, making every hour count. Here you have to mind your hours. Know exactly how long things take and how long you work, so you can optimize your hours and don't miss simple steps for prioritizing your time and getting focused on those tasks that's most important to you. Third, where and when to study. One of the most important reasons for having a dedicated area for study is that it sharpens the mind and improves concentration. A separate study area is better than using kitchen or living room to avoid any disturbance. According to research, learning is more effective between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and from 4 p.m. to 10 a.m. Fourth, studying for lecture courses. Reading and studying the lecture courses beforehand helps us to understand the material and gives us time to consider our perspectives and opinions. Lastly, studying for recitation courses. Studying the lectures and being prepared for recitation is very important. For us to be ready and prepared for all the possible questions, we can answer it clearly with confidence if we study well the courses. Now let's talk about the difference between training and development. So training is a learning program designed for fresh employees in order to help them acquire knowledge and improve skills required to perform their job well. While development is a process of training for the growth and development of the already hired employees. And if we compare the two about periods of time, the training has shorter period of time, which typically includes 3 to 6 months. In the meantime, development has long-term in nature and is a continuous process. And lastly, for the trainers of the two, in training, trainers focus on developing the skills and competencies of a fresh employee for the hired position, while trainers in development focus on the overall uplifting of the knowledge and comprehension and skills of the employee, making him capable enough to face challenges in the future. The similarities between training and development are both training and development programs aims to increase the efficiency and productivity of the employees and functioning of the company. Through training and development programs, organizational heads try to make attitudinal change in their employees. Now let's go on to the different types of training. We have two types of trainings. We have traditional trainings and modern trainings. Under the traditional trainings, we have the number 1, which is the off-the-job training. In this method of training, employees are taken to another location to learn a skill or acquire important knowledge. Number 2, on-the-job training. This method, the employees learn by doing. The employees can learn the practical problems while working on the job. Number 3, interactive training. In this method, this can be group activities, simulations, games, or anything else that gets employees active within the learning process.
Now, let's define what are the under of modern training. So, number 1, we have here the social learning. In this method, it is sharing of information and knowledge via discussion and computer-based methods. And number 2, online training. This involves e-learning, sometimes called web-based training. Number 3, outdoor training. This is through physical activities which helps a team building. And that's all for my part. I hope you learn a lot from me, and the next reporter will be Miss Neri Abigail. Thank you.
Training and development. Learning and development companies gain and retain top talent, increase job satisfaction and morale, improve productivity, and earn more profit. This commitment makes sense when you consider the length of services businesses carry out to recruit and hire qualified staff. And this program allows you to strengthen those skills that each employee needs to improve. And training and development makes employee more productive and effective. So we have here 5 ways to improve employee satisfaction under a training and development. First is tackle shortcomings. If you tackle a difficult problem or task, you deal with it in a very detailed and efficient way. Second is performance improvement. For measuring the output of a particular business process or procedure, then modifying the process or procedure to increase the output, increase the efficiency of the process or procedure. Third is employee satisfaction. It is a measure for the workers' contentedness with their job, whether they like job or individual process job, such as nature of work or self-provision. Fourth is increased productivity. Productivity increases when more output is produced without increasing the output. The same output is produced with less input. And the last one is self-driven. It's a learning strategies where the HR and learning teams time and resources. Self-driven learning also offers the benefit of being more personal. So let's proceed to the benefits of training and development. Job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is morale and more productive, while reduction of turnover is the overall employee's commitment to the company and in turn reduce an employee's turnover intent. This ultimately results in an organization that is better able to retain its workplace and cover employee potential. It's the employees that exhibit the necessary skills for a leadership or management position. Increase consistency. To increase consistency, you have to isolate one goal, focus on incremental improvement, fight your emotions, and forgive your failures. Team spirit. Team spirit is the feeling of pride and loyalty that exists among the members of the team and that makes them want their team to do well and to be the best. Optimum resource utilization allows project managers to foresee resource availability across multiple categories. This insight allows teams to strategically plan their workforce schedules and make real-time remedial efforts to ensure the optimal health of new projects.
Good day, my name is Maria Princess Alagon and we are the group 1. So my topic is emotional attributes of personality. This study aims to assess the impact of personality on emotional intelligence and decision making. So among medical students in Lebanese University and to evaluate the potentials mediating role play by emotional intelligence between personality traits and decision making styles in this population. Personalities contain the patterns of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that make each person unique. Together, these aspects can play a role in every part of our lives, from friendships or careers to hobbies. So these are the big 5 examples. Personality traits consist of agreeableness, consciousness, conscientiousness, extraversion, naivism, openness to experience. Agreeableness is a personality trait that describes how you treat your relationships with others, and conscientiousness is a trait that refers to how thoughtful and goal-oriented you are. And extroversion, it describes your emotional expression and how comfortable you are in your environment. And next is narcissism and the openness to experience. Each of the 5 personality factors is composed of a range between 2 extremes. Most people score in between the 2 ends of each dimension. Like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a theory of motivation which states that 5 categories of human needs dictate an individual's behavior. A Maslow hierarchy of needs is an idea in physiology proposed of American Abraham Maslow in his 1943 paper, A Theory of Human Motivation, in the journal Physiological Review. Maslow is subsequently extended the idea to include his observation of human innate curiosity.
5 personality traits claims that we can describe ourselves with 5 main characteristics: open, conscientious, extrovert, agreeable, neurotic. Each of us varies in how much of each trait is shown in our personality. In order to understand what each trait really means, let's look at these 5 characters and how they cope after they wreck their boat and are stranded on an island in the middle of the ocean. Open Odalia is excited and interested in exploring this beautiful island. The exotic nature inspires her. She has collected stones, shells and blossoms to decorate the entrance of the bamboo hut that she built for everyone. She feels this is an opportunity to learn so many new things. Claire is conscientious. She is not excited. She is concerned about the seriousness of the situation. She is glad she saved the survival kit from their ship. As usual, she is prepared and starts the crucial tasks right away. She feels that it is her duty to organize everyone and make sure that they will start looking for the things they need for survival: fresh water and food. Extrovert Emil is thrilled because they all survived. He feels a strong need to talk and share his happiness. He gathers everyone to celebrate their survival and to tell them about his plan to explore the island together. Agreeable Albert is kind by nature, and despite being tired and thirsty, his main concern is Nora. He offers her a drink from his coconut. The others know that he usually agrees to everything and are not shy to ask for his help. Nora is neurotic and easily stressed. She has a total breakdown. She sits down on the beach and cries. How are they ever going to get away from this island? To her, the ocean around them looks endless. Nature looks dark and dangerous. She feels completely lost. After 8 weeks, 2 ships appear on the horizon. Everyone gets excited. Emil has the idea to make a fire. He calls the others to help. Claire immediately starts to work. Albert brings more wood. Odalia is holding up her beautifully arranged SOS sign, while Nora screams desperately for help. Little do they know who is sailing on these ships. The first ship carries a group of psychologists who have been traveling the ocean since the 1980s. They are investigating the Big 5 personality traits, which is also known as the 5-factor or ocean model. The captain, Louis Goldberg, coined the term Big 5. He is thrilled when he sees the 5 friends at the beach, each one matching exactly one trait: open, conscientious, extrovert, agreeable, neurotic. Though he decides not to stop the boat. As a scientist, he prefers to watch from afar. On the other ship are 5 pirates, all possessing the exact opposite traits of our friends. Let's see if you can recognize them. Pirate 1 is emotionally stable and very relaxed. When she sees the survivors on the beach, she says, "We could help them." Pirate 2 immediately gets angry with her. He is not listening to anyone and is not willing to change his plans in order to help some strangers on an island. Pirate 3 thinks this is a complex situation. He thinks that all possible outcomes need to be considered. He feels the need to be alone and think. Pirate 4 doesn't care. He's busy looking for the keys to his treasure chest, which he's lost again. The captain is not open to any new experiences. He ends all discussions when he says, "Our boat won't stop." What do you think about the Big 5? Do you recognize your own personality in some of the traits? Or do you think this theory is flawed, as we cannot describe an entire personality in 5 parameters? If you watch this in class and you are not sure which traits you have, pick a friend and describe each other. Many of us are bad at describing ourselves, so an outside perspective is often helpful.
And that's the end of emotional attributes of personality. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sheila M. Ojales, and we are the Group 1. So for today, I'm going to discuss the Chapter 5, the emotional attributes of personality. Emotions are mental states brought on the neuropsychological changes, variously associated with the thoughts, feelings, and behavioral responses. It is very important that one knows how to control emotion, as this will affect the oneself dealing with this environment. Some of these include the anger, the happiness, the sadness, surprise, disgust, and fear, which are caused by certain stimulus that affect one. But we're going to focus on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? It's a theory of psychology explaining human motivation based on the pursuit of different levels of needs. The theory of states of humans are motivated to fulfill their needs in the hierarchical order. This order begins with the most basic needs before moving on to more advanced needs. The ultimate goal, according to this theory, is to reach the fifth level of the hierarchy, which is the self-actualization. It was first introduced by Abraham Maslow in 1943 paper, A Theory of Human Motivation. Maslow later refined this theory in 1954 with his book, Motivation of Personality. Since then, this theory was retained a popular subject in sociology, management training, and psychology classes. There are 5 main levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. These levels begin from the most basic to the most advanced needs. Maslow originally believed that the person needed to be completely satisfying one level to begin pursuing further levels. A more modern perspective is that these levels overlap. As a person reaches the higher levels, their motivation is directly towards these levels. However, thoughts their main focus is on the higher levels, they will still continue to pursue lower levels of the hierarchy, but this less intensely. The first is the physiological need, located at the lower level of the pyramid, also known as the basic needs for survival. They are the most essential things a person needs to survive. This would come first with a person's search for satisfaction. A person's motivation at this level derives from their instinct to survive. Its needs will include air, water, shelter, clothing, and sleep. Without these things, human cannot survive. Include air, water, food, shelter, clothing, and sleep. Without these things, human cannot survive. For example, people who live close to the equator generally have less need for clothing than those who live further away. This is because the closer you are to equator, is the higher the average temperature is. However, they may need clothing to avoid sunburn. On the other hand, people who live in the cold climate generally need more clothing to stay warm. In fact, people who live in the Arctic regions of the world must wear special clothing that protects them from the cold and wind. The second level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs consists of safety needs. Safety and security needs relate to the person's need to feel safe and secure in their life and surroundings. Motivations come from need for law, order, and protection from unpredictable and dangerous conditions. There are many examples of safety needs in the modern society. To find stability and security, a person must consider their physical safety. This means seeking protection from the element, violent condition, or health threats and sickness. Additionally, an individual's need economic safety to live and thrive in the modern society. This refers to the need for job security, stable income, and savings. One of the methods of achieving economic safety is to learn proper investment strategies. The third level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is love and belonging needs. Humans are social creatures that crave interaction with others. This level of hierarchy outlines the needs for friendship, intimacy, family, and love. Humans have need to give and receive love to feel like belonging to the group. When deprived of these needs, individuals may experience loneliness and depression. For example, a family get-together plays an important role in satisfying emotional and belongingness and affection need of us. On different occasions like birthday parties, marriage, family lunch, family tour, and etc. Family members assemble at one place, share sorrows and happiness with each other. It helps in fulfilling the love and belongingness needs of individuals. The fourth level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is esteem needs. Esteem needs are related to a person's need to gain recognition, status, and feel respected. Once someone has fulfilled the love and belonging needs, they seek to fulfill their esteem needs. For example, in academics, both at school and college level, some students are good in their study and accomplish top position, while others are good at non-academic or extracurricular activities like stage shows, debate competitions, dance program, and sports. For these achievements, they win a lot of prizes and certification, as well as a verbal appreciation from their teachers, seniors, family, and friends. This boosts their esteem and satisfies their need of recognition, appreciation, and self-confidence. Maslow broke up esteem needs into two categories: the need for respect from others and the need for respect from oneself. Respect from others relates to achieving fame, prestige, and recognitions. Respect from oneself relates to dignity, confidence, competence, independence, and freedom. The fifth and the final level of Maslow's hierarchy of need is self-actualization needs. It relates the relation of an individual's full potential. At this level, people strive to become the best that they possibly can be. The need for self-actualization can manifest in different ways, such as obtaining skills, continuing education, utilizing skills, knowledge, and talents, pursuing life dreams, and seeking happiness. One person may strive to become the best parent and everyone's best friend. Another person might aim to become a millionaire and a philanthropist. Others may work toward becoming the famous athlete. In general, self-actualization is the pursuit of personal growth.
Characteristic of self-actualized people: they are generally realistically oriented, nag-focus sa realidad ng buhay, mas pinipili na gumawa ng praktikal na solusyon para malutas ang problema. They normally accept themselves, tanggap ang sarili, kalakasan man ito o kanyang kahinaan. Mostly yung mga gantong tao ay may mga masaya sa buhay dahil tanggap nila kung ano ang sila. They are spontaneous in their inner life, thoughts, and impulses. Go with the flow sila sa life. Gumagawa ng mga bagay kahit na hindi siya nakakaplano, kasi minsan iniisip nila na mas magiging masaya sila dito. They're also focused on problems outside themselves. Problem-centered sila, kahit hindi nila problema, ito na problema nila. They have attachment or need for privacy. Kailangan lagi ng self-space or privacy, pili lang yung mga taong pinagkakatiwalaan nila. They are autonomous independent of culture and environment. Hindi sila dumedepende sa mga nakapaligid sa kanila, lalo sa pag-desisyon sa mga bagay-bagay. They have freshness of appreciation. Na-appreciate nila ang buhay. Tinitingnan nila yung mga palagi yung mga bright side ng life kaysa magreklamo. They have peak experience, maraming karanasan sa buhay. Ginagamit yung mga experience nito para sa kanilang self-fulfillment. Some common experience emotions. Love. Ito ang pinaka-common emotion na pwede natin maramdaman at iparamdam sa ibang tao at sa sarili natin. Ang love ay pwedeng makapagdulot ng kasiyahan o kalungkutan sa isang tao. Fear. Kadalasan natin itong nararamdaman kapag tayo ay may mga bagay na kailangan pag-desisyonan pero hindi tayo ready para mag-desisyon. Nararamdaman din natin kaba kapag may mga bagay tayo na na-encounter na hindi natin inaasahan. Anxiety. Naranasan natin anxiety kapag hindi tayo komportable o hindi tayo sanay sa mga tao na nasa paligid natin. Naranasan natin ito kapag at may mga bagay na nakapag-trigger ito katulad ng trauma. So, worry. Ito ay nararamdaman kapag may mga bagay kang ipinag-aalala. Nag-worry ang isang tao dahil may mga concern siya sa mga bagay-bagay na nangyayari sa paligid niya. Anger. Ang galit ay nararamdaman kapag may mga bagay na nagpapatrigger dito katulad ng pagsira ng tiwala, pagsinungaling, panluloko sa isang tao. Ito ay isang napakadelikadong emosyon dahil minsan ito ang nag-uulok isang tao para gumawa ng masama.
YOLO James F. Tangile and we are Group 1. Therefore, there are 4 categories of emotions: personal, social, intellectual, and aesthetic. Personal feelings are those that are based on the individual, such as happiness, sadness, anger, fear, disgust, and surprise. One such example is being content, doing something you enjoy. Next is social emotions, which are strong feelings that people experiencing. They are part of society. Example include guilt, shame, pride, and jealousy. For example, if your crush is ignoring you while she is with his boyfriend, you are experiencing jealousy on a social level. We also have intellectual emotions, which are defined as love based on truth. As an illustration, let's say, witness one of your friends boarding one of the most well-known cruise ships in the world and you realize, I'll be there soon. Finally, aesthetic emotions are influenced by cultural background. For example is appreciation, such as looking at the painting and thinking how beautiful it is, or listening to music and feeling it deep into heart and how it was created. Keys to control emotions. So I will give you 3 things to control your emotion. First, watch your personal pressure. Make sure your steam is not building up inside your body. Second, avoid any situation that will irritate you. And lastly, third, if you are already mad and getting madder, calm yourself and off the rage harmlessly.
And now Now that we've reached the end, let's do a short review or recap. So, what are the 5-factor models of personality? Time's up! So, if you answer openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, that's right! So that's all for today's video. If you have questions, clarifications, or something to add, please let us know after the presentation. So see you again mga katripkadas. Again, we are the Group 1.